Hey guys, I'm going to finish off now my guide on, well, my just general commentary on the cross-pathing choices to make for towers in BTD6. Just looking at tier 3 and above. So all I have left is the 5 magic monkeys, and as you can see, I use these a lot. I've got a few million on all of them. So starting off with the wizard monkey. I think the wizard monkey is a pretty simple one again. There's a few simple ones. And so if we're looking at the arcane mastery here, so the arcane mastery, the arcane spike, and the archmage, they all kind of benefit the main attack. And so you always want to get the intense magic because this adds pierce to the main attack. And simply put, buffing the main attack, which is already super buffed by these 3 upgrades, is going to get you much further than adding a second attack, which does a little bit. And looking at that, if you're going to get the Wall of Fire and the Fireball, you may as well make a new monkey and just get the Fireball and the Wall of Fire. Looking at the Dragon's Breath, this one is a brand new attack, so it doesn't benefit from buffs to the main attack, but what it does benefit from is guided magic here allows all of your shots to seek behind cover. And this will basically make your wizard able to ignore obstacles. You can put it behind a tree and it can still attack through the tree. Currently this is broken, however, and it only works at the arcane mastery, so it doesn't work for any other path. It's quite a shame. But hopefully this will be fixed soon, and when that is, that will allow the Fireball, the Wall of Fire, and the Dragon's Breath to all ignore obstacles, in which case this will become interesting. If you do have your wizard placed behind an obstacle, then it'll be good to get the guided magic. Otherwise, you don't benefit from intense magic on your Dragon's Breath or your Wall of Fire or your Fireball, but you do benefit from Monkey Sense, which just allows you to hit camos. It allows all your attacks to hit camos. So if you're not stuck behind cover, then you want to get this bottom path so you can get camo detection. Shimmer. Shimmer is just a debuff that removes camo from balloons. It doesn't add anything else, so it doesn't matter too much what you do here, just whatever you feel like. And in this case, we'll just look at the unpopped army, which adds a secondary attack which raises balloons to fight back for you against the other balloons. This attack doesn't benefit from any of the other things, so buffing the main attack, which it still keeps, doesn't do that much though, because these 2 upgrades, they don't do much when you're looking at an upgrade which costs 3,500 and you've already paid like 1.8 here and like 600 in these 2. This is an expensive upgrade, so paying an extra bit to buff that main attack is not that cost effective. I generally get Wall of Fire for this one, just because Wall of Fire is actually a really powerful upgrade, just on its own. It doesn't benefit from cross-pathing, aside from the guided magic and the monkey sense, but it's just powerful. It's just plain powerful. It really decimates. The only exception here is if you're going all the way to tier 5 Prince of Darkness. So the tier 5 Prince of Darkness, it buffs your attack speed massively. You get a lot of attack speed. So at this point, it's potentially good to go for the Arcane Blast and the Guided Magic again, so you can get the seeking shots and extra damage. You're still going to be doing way more damage just from the balloons and mobs that you raise up to fight back. So I don't know if this is really that concerning. It's honestly, you don't really need to crosspath this at all, but the crosspath is cheap enough that it's kind of worth it. I mean, the Wall of Fire is definitely worth getting for the unpopped army, and the Prince of Darkness, it's worth having the Wall of Fire for sure, but it might be worth getting these top paths if you want to squeeze out a little bit of extra damage from that main attack. But honestly, I would just get the Wall of Fire because in the process of saving up for the Prince of Darkness, it'll help you more. The Super Monkey. So this one, I want to look at the Sun Avatar specifically. The Sun Avatar, I believe, benefits more from knockback. You don't need the Ultra Vision so much, but the knockback really helps you. This guy will clean up on heavy balloon rounds like 63 and such. If you're looking at the Temple, well, I did a full video talking about the Temple, go watch that one. But the Temple, I would say epic range. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but if you're doing a Temple, then you want like a support sacrifice, in which case Epic Range is good. If you're not using support, then you can potentially consider the others, but Epic Range I generally go for. Same with True Sun God. Robo Monkey. So you pretty much want the Plasma Blast here because Plasma Blast just increases your attack rate massively. Your Plasma Blasts are going to be so much more DPS. The only problem with this is that once you get the Laser Blast upgrade, you can no longer pop camos with this tower. If you go for the bottom path, you can knock back NC camo and also pop purples. But this is only going to benefit you in some daily challenges. Honestly, in most cases, you're just going to want to pop a village down next to you for camo detection because the Plasma Blast gives you so much damage you can't ignore it. Even the Tech Terror and the Anti-Balloon, the amount of DPS boost you get from the Plasma Blast you can't ignore. This is the same with the Dark Knight path. You just can't ignore the Plasma Blast. It adds so much DPS because of the attack rate boost. But the same problem, you cannot, with a Dark Knight, pop purple balloons with the laser or Plasma Blast. But the Dark Champion can. It can pop purple balloons. For some reason, the tier 4 and the tier 5 can both pop purple balloons even with the Plasma Blasts. I guess because their attack is sharp, but like sharp and plasmid, but so is this one. It's just a tier 4, tier 5 thing. That happens sometimes. Some tier 5s get supercharged. In this case, the tier 4 is so powerful that it's considered good enough that it deserves that for some reason. The Ninja Monkey. Ninja Monkey's a fun one. I love this guy. So if you're looking at the double shot and the balloon jitsu here, we're looking at throwing out lots of projectiles all at once. Now, if I'm playing on generally an easier difficulty, I believe, then I would go for the distraction, because the distraction just feels like it's so much nicer. Kind of, I can if I have a lot of ninjas with distraction, I can shred through the mob layer, and then the second the ceramics come out, I have so many shurikens hitting them that the ceramics just get thrown away and they don't matter. And then I can have like something at the back like Druid of the Vine, a bunch of those. I call it Druid of the Vine. I know it's probably not called that. I'll see that when I get to Druid. But you know the one I'm talking about, the Vine one, it just sucks down the ceramics in one shot. And that's a really fun setup for me. And then you can get the counter espionage as well, which means you don't need a village, which is also fun. But if you're looking at a harder map, if you're looking at doing Chimp's difficulty, then the accuracy you get from Seeking Shurikens is way better. I think that most people will agree that Seeking Shuriken is the best. Personally, I think Seeking Shuriken is the best for not leaking anything at all. It's the best starting upgrade for Ninja, but I think the best end game upgrade for Ninja is Distraction. And if we're looking at Caltrops, most people seem to pass this off as a meme, but I think it's a very underappreciated upgrade. If you boost your Ninja with an Alchemist and then an Acidic Mixture Dip, so what you get is these Caltrops become like 4 times as powerful, because each spike on the Caltrop does more damage, and you're also, like, when you add Pierce to the Caltrops, you're adding to the number of balloons it can pop. So the Alchemist Pierce boost, that Pierce boost gains the damage as well. So yeah, you're basically making your Caltrops like 4 times as powerful, and any Pierce or damage boost you add to your Caltrops gets way more powerful as well. And not to mention, next upgrade, Shinobi Tactics. So generally with Shinobi Tactics, you want to get Ninja Discipline purely because it gives a range boost. And when you're looking at Shinobi Tactics, you want to fit as many of them as close together as possible. So Ninja Discipline is way better. It's simple. The ones near the center, I usually don't bother getting that on, but then the Shinobi Tactics around the outside, I do get Ninja Discipline on because they need more range to reach the back to the middle. And as I was saying, Shinobi Tactics buffs the rate of Caltrops. It actually buffs the rate of all of these attacks. So when you've got your Caltrops buffed by damage, buffed by Pierce, and buffed by attack rate, they start doing a lot. They start doing work for you. It's actually pretty good. So your Flash Bomb here, this one, your Flash Bomb itself will benefit from like counter espionage. So going middle path can be good because you will actually remove camo from DDTs with this upgrade. If you have ninjas, you basically can survive without villages in a regular game. Maybe not so much free play, but in a regular game for sure. And your sticky bombs will also remove camo from DDTs, but your flash bomb's probably done that already. Especially if you've got Shinobi Tactics, which makes your flash bomb super fast. Fantastic. Your Shinobi Tactics and your Ninja Discipline will also buff your sticky bomb and your master bomb. So yeah, while it's good to get counter espionage on maybe one of your ninjas for the sake of just getting rid of leads and putting some stuns out on ceramics and removing camo from DDTs, if you're going to have more than one flash bomb, then you're going to want Ninja Discipline, because it'll make faster flash bombs and also faster sticky bombs, which is kind of important, because sticky bomb is a slow firing attack that only hits one target, and it takes a while to go off, but does a lot of damage. It's a pretty solid power. And so yeah, increasing the attack rate on that is very vital, I think, for the upgrade, because it just doesn't attack fast enough to keep up in heavy situations. Okay, the Alchemist. This one is pretty simple as well. So your top path, which is all about buffing other towers, it's all about buffs, purely buffing other towers. So stronger acid and perishing potions, these are pure damage. You don't really get much out of them. Faster throwing, however, will increase the attack rate of your mixture dip, your berserker brew, your stronger stimulant, increases the attack rate of all of these upgrades. So you can buff more towers. If you're only buffing one tower with your berserker brew, you can do that sometimes. Generally, you want to do at least two if you're getting stronger stimulant. But if you're only buffing one tower, you may think you don't need faster throwing, and you probably don't until later on. But you still benefit the acidic mixture dip with your faster throwing. And the acidic mixture dip can stack, because how it works is, instead of applying a duration buff, it allows your next 10 attacks to be buffed. And what that means is faster attacking towers will actually run out of dip faster than it can be supplied. So if you get faster throwing in your dip, you can keep your fast attacking towers supplied with dip permanently. Well, not, it depends how fast they are. But for example, a tower that attacks super fast, like your Grandmaster Ninja, you can just surround that ninja with a bunch of 202 Alchemists, and eventually you will reach a point where you can keep it dipped forever. It's just going to take a lot of Alchemists. Okay, your Unstable Concoction, and your basically this path in general, this is a DPS path, the only real DPS path on the Alchemist. And since it is a DPS path, I prefer to go faster throwing here as well, just because your stronger acid and perishing potions will benefit from that. They will also benefit from larger potions, but the faster throwing, I feel, just adds a bit more, and the acid pool allows it to just lay down kind of like a Spy Factory kind of pile of acid when it's not attacking, so when the balloons do arrive, they just get decimated instantly. Your Unstable Concoction currently it doesn't benefit from any cross-pathing, but it should benefit from faster throwing. So once that's fixed, it will also be good to go faster throwing on this one. Your Transforming Tonic does not benefit at all from cross-pathing. The base tower does, so it's good to cross-path still. It's good to get the faster throwing. But once you use the ability, it transforms your tower. Your tower doesn't keep any of its stuff, basically. It can still be buffed from external sources, but it loses its own. Okay, your lead to gold, your rubber to gold. You just want larger potions here, because if you can... Okay, so the lead to gold one is kind of different, because the lead to gold, it basically means whenever this alchemist pops a lead balloon, you get $50. So your stronger acid and your perishing potions can help you pop fortified leads a bit faster, but you can one-shot regular leads with an alchemist. So I kind of prefer to just get your larger potions so you can hit a wider area. And by the time you get fortified leads, you're probably set anyway. The rubber to gold as well. This one purely converts balloons. It doesn't rely on this alchemist popping them anymore. It hits the balloons, and then they are golden balloons, and then any tower can pop them and will get 3 times cash from it. So for the rubber to gold, it is definitely way better to go larger potions every time, because you raise your potential on how many balloons you can convert at once. And again, with the Balloon Master Alchemist, this is a bit of a tricky upgrade. It's actually really cheap for what it does, but that's because you miss out on cash when you use it. Because this will convert any balloon up to a Zomj into a red balloon. It will even convert a camo red balloon into a regular red balloon. It will convert any balloon it hits with this special attack that it gains into a red balloon. And it can hit a few targets at once, so it's definitely better to go larger potions here. You want to go larger potions all of this path. Your Druid, here it is, Druid of the Jungle. I keep calling it Vine, I always call it Vine. Your Druid of the Storm. So your Heart of Thunder, your Druid of the Storm, Ball, Lightning, Superstorm, none of these benefit from your Fawn Swarm or Heart of Oak in this middle path. So if you want to use these upgrades, your main attack, you'll keep this main attack, which will benefit from those two. But all your DPS is going to be from these four, let's face it. So I kind of prefer to go Druidic Reach here. If you're in Chimps or Unpoppable, then Heart of Vengeance doesn't matter, it doesn't do anything. But if you're not in those modes and you're able to lose lives, you can do some really cool strats here, because the Heart of Vengeance will double your attack speed if you maximize it. That's pretty cool. I actually did a video on Town Center recently, if you want to take a look at that, where I used like a Ball Lightning maxed by Pop Lusts. This was on Chimps, so I didn't get my Heart of Vengeance, but even without the Heart of Vengeance buff, this tower was keeping up with my main Pop Lust. So Druid of the Jungle, the Vine itself isn't buffed from anything. It can't actually be buffed at all. It's just it's a set attack. Boom, 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 it does what it does. The Jungle's Bounty, on the other hand, will benefit from increasing the range of the Druid. So if you're going to go all the way to, if you're going to use Druid of the Jungle, don't cross path. If you're going to use Jungle's Bounty, get the Druidic Reach. That's pretty simple. Although if you're, depending on if you're starting with Druid and you need lead popping, it can be good to get Heart of Thunder. You'll get more DPS out of that. But the Jungle's Bounty will hit more farms with extra range, so I feel like that's way better. So the Druid of Raph. This one, this path just focuses on making this main attack, the main Druid's Fawn attack faster. That's what it is. Like, this one makes attack faster, this one makes attack faster, this one makes attack faster, this one makes it just do everything. Wow. If you're going to be doing this one, now that's interesting. So your hard Fawns here, they will make your Fawns pop more balloons. So they'll pierce and pop more. But your Fawn Swarm, you shoot 3 extra Fawns. So your hard Fawns are better at a base look. Getting that pierce is better. And also getting the Heart of Thunder is way better, because your speed buffs here actually buff the attack speed of that as well. In fact, if you have Pop Lusts, which buff the rate of all Druids nearby, they will buff the Druid of Storm and the Ball Lightning. It's all good. They'll buff everything except for Druid of the Jungle, sadly. And yeah, so pretty much you're always, if you're just using a base Druid, you're not, not a base Druid, but if you're just using Druids, you're not using any external factors, then definitely 204 is the best. Like, the amount of attack speed boost you get on Heart of Thunder just makes it amazing. However, if you're looking at buffs on this tower, like the Alchemist, if you apply a brew to this, which adds damage, then it adds damage and pierce, then the extra 1 pierce you get from all your 5 regular ones, that adds 5 damage. But if you're getting 8 shots and you're now adding pierce to all of those 8 shots and damage to all of those, then it gets it's starting to catch up. So if you're buffing this from external sources, then it is actually better to go middle path. And so it pretty much comes down to that. If you got your Druid if you've got your Pop Lust Druids underneath an Alchemist, which is on stronger stimulant, then you want to go middle path. But if you don't, then top path is way better. When it comes to the Avatar of Raph here, this one actually gets more powerful the more balloons are on screen. You always want to go middle path on this one, because adding that huge damage bonus it gets to more Fawns is always better. Only the Pop Lusts are better with Heart of Thunder sometimes. And that's all of them. So yeah, I hope this guide was helpful, and thanks for watching. I'll see you around.